All right, welcome everyone to Channels Television's election studios from wherever you're watching us in the world as we continue our robust coverage of the Kogi and Bayelsa gubernatorial elections and, of course, the Kogi West senatorial seat, in which we saw about 7 local government areas involved in that exercise. It began about 8 a.m. in most places yesterday. Well, that's gone. Today, all attention has shifted to the results, and they're still trickling in from the Mahmoud Yakubu Hall, that's the INEC headquarters in Bayelsa State, and of course the INEC headquarters in Lokoja, Kogi State. I can tell you everyone is trying to make sense of the numbers that are coming in. Many people spent today with their calculators trying to add up the total number of registered voters versus accredited voters, and of course the number of votes cast, and trying to put that against the results that we see from INEC. Now, it's been quite a day, and the collation process is still on. Just in case you haven't been following the proceedings, my colleague and I, Seun Okimbaloye, are here to tell you everything you need to know. Welcome once again, Ami Joma Onyato.
Indeed, this is the very moment where the world politics, it's a game of number, is no cliche. It's really a game of number. Thanks so much, Ijoma.
Agreed.
And there have been nail-biting moments, and many have been on the edge of their seats as these results coming. In the Collation Center, we have anxious-looking party agents, some sitting quietly and others objecting to the results coming in from reasons ranging to irregularities, to violence, intimidation, and even financial inducement. We also saw some of the nation's professors tackling some large spreadsheets. Well, we will look at all that tonight as we try to make sense of all the information that is rushing at us in the studio. As expected, there are reactions and statements coming in from election monitors, the candidates themselves, and you at home. So stick around for the next couple of hours as we address these issues. It's Channels Television's, the nation's news leader, your home for the news and the continuing coverage of the Kogi and Bayelsa elections. Welcome, everyone.
It's amazing when you talked about the spreadsheet, Seun. You know, this is when glasses, calculators, you know, and you know, just being able to read lines. Because at some point, I was thinking, you know, were you not expecting to read from that?
At some point, a lot of people probably had an understanding of who is winning. Yeah. But, you know, you are waiting to just hear from the man who has the authority to announce the result, and you see the man pressing the calculator with a spreadsheet. That's what the law requires. That spreadsheet needs to be filled, it needs to be finalized, it needs to be manually filled before anything is done. But,
you know, after a while, it looked like a ping-pong thing. Yeah. Yes, there was violence. No, there wasn't violence. As soon as one person gets up, there was violence. The next person says, no, there wasn't. And at a point, I was wondering, this is not the forum for that, but we still did see it play out.
You know, I have always expected, I've always seen the drama play out. I mean, from different kind of states that you will see this contention being raised over what happened on the field and what, that collation center is very critical. That collation is another critical moment in election process. You know, election is a process. It's not an end.
And it was good that at least they were able to get in there. We didn't hear any reports of skirmishes or anything. The process was able to kick off. I think they started about 8:45 or thereabouts, trying to just to get in. That's for Kogi now, into the center, isn't it?
So we'll see that in Kogi there was a break at some point. We had almost 20 or so results, and in Bayelsa we've had about 5 results waiting for the rest to come in. There's also a break in the proceedings there, and at some point we'll be going back to give you live pictures of the proceedings there. But tonight, we want to make sense of what has happened today. Some of the things that you need to know. Some of the things that you missed. Maybe when you were having lunch with your family out there, or you were having a cup of coffee, whatever the weather may be in your part of the country. So stay with us. We are here to give you those details and highlights.
What about the speed with which, you know, each one was going? I counted between 15 and 17 minutes for some. But there was one, he had to go, he came back, he went again.
Go and reconcile, go to the secretariat, reconcile and come back. And all of it. I mean, one of those moments for me was quite dramatic. where evidence was provided that we were induced. And this is the money, this is the evidence.
And I'm going to go to it. I think that was in Odolu local government area.
Yes.
There was drama when one of the returning officers, Professor Evans Ashigwike, alleged that one of his colleagues was given 50,000 naira to compromise the results from that local government area. That happened during the presentation of...
Odolu,
exactly.
LGA,
And I think we have it, yeah. So let's look at it.
That's it.
University of Abuja. I am the local government. I am the Evans Ashigwike. I am an associate professor of non-destructive testing and sensor technologies of University of Abuja. I am the local government collation officer for Igalamela Odolu LGA.
Good morning, all. My name is Sani Idris Wasi, electoral officer Igalamela Odolu. Thank you. Sani Idris Wasi. Sani Idris Wasi.
I have 10 wards in my registration, my local government area. The total number of registered voters is 65129. 65129. Then the total number of accredited voters is 21428. 21428. ADP 26. APC 8075. PDP 11195. The SPO reported to me that the PO was induced, was giving money to influence the results. He collected the money, and the money is 50,000 naira, and handed the money over to the SPO, to the EO, and to me finally. Yes, and I have the exhibit here, 50,000. So, yes, there's a report. So, that's it.
Oh, that's very interesting.
That's a lot of money in today's Nigeria.
This is the first, I'm telling you.
Absolutely.
You see from the SPO to the EO.
To the EO, then finally.
So if you wanted to do forensics, what's the hope of?
You're almost lost it.
Yeah?
The evidence is probably lost. But the thing is that the minimum wage is 30,000 naira. This is almost a double of the minimum wage. And you're seeing this kind of incident.
And it's interesting that when they asked him to speak further, he just said from somebody. You know, there wasn't any further information.
Because some of the reports that have come in from some of these civil society organizations also reveal that vote buying ranged from 500 naira to 3,000 naira. Right. In fact, some of the electoral observers also said they were being offered about $1,000 each before the election of Saturday, on Friday. These are some of the, I mean, this perhaps is an evidence, clear one, to show some of these reports that have been
That's
submitted.
amazing, but at least they were able to get through to their, to get through. But looking, there was another drama in Bayelsa.
Absolutely.
They didn't want them to even do the process at all. What the issue was about was PDP agents wanted INEC resident electoral commissioner not to even begin the process at all, because according to him, there was an existing court order barring the candidates from participating in the election. Very interesting indeed. Look at how it played out.
Hello. So the party agents should introduce themselves.
Okay. The returning officer of this occasion, permit me to observe all code. I do know that it may not be time to ask questions, but I do want to have a clarification before we start. For the record, INEC, the name is Osusu, the state party agent to people. Before we started the election proper, there was a court judgment disqualifying APC for this election. Now, INEC has to show us, because if they have been disqualified, they cannot be here. So INEC should show us the purported third court order before we can continue.
Hello.
Hello. It's very important. So INEC should show us, exhibit the stay of the court order, the stay, before we can continue this coalition. Thank you.
Thank you. Please, noted.
The returning officer and members of this high table. My name is Dr. Dennis Otiotiu, and I am the state agent for the APC. We are all aware. I think my friend, the agent of the PDP, is misunderstanding the aims, objective, and purpose why we are here. We are here for the collation of the state collation of the governorship election results that was conducted yesterday. The issues he is raising, fortunately, he is a lawyer. These are things that are before court of law. And it is only a court of law that can pronounce on these issues is really here. The returning officer here, the REC, national officers here, do not have jurisdiction, they don't have the power to say whether there is a court judgment. He's talking of court, do you even have a copy of the court judgment? So the purpose of why we are here is to collect the results.
Well, what a drama today.
I'm telling you.
It was some kind of lecturing of what the proceeding. And it's interesting that, well, the presiding officers over there were not even interfering.
I think I like
it was the agents themselves that were countering themselves and lecturing themselves and giving themselves counter lectures.
But if you look at Kogi, he had a smile on his face throughout. He kept saying, no, wait, no. His courage was, was really
nobody will forget easily this kind of drama which played out in 2015. And I mean, it's a similar situation. It just reminded me of that scenario. And it makes for good television on an election day where everywhere is pensive and everyone is anticipating. And it just kind of gives you.
But then when you look at the other side, you wonder why our electoral process is this dramatic all the time. You know, while you look at
we
that
dramatic people in ourselves?
I know,
we got some energy in this part of the world. So some of the results that we've seen so far, 8 local government areas of Bayelsa State. So far we have 7. Take a look at some of those results for you. Some of them are scrolling right on your screen, but let's give you a vivid picture of some of these results from Sagbama local government area. APC, we just give you 2 of the top political parties in that race. So Sagbama local government, APC, David Lion polled 7,831. PDP's Senator Diri polled 60,339. In Nembe local government area, APC polled 83,041 votes. PDP polled 874. In Kolokuma Opokuma local government area of Bayelsa State, APC polled 8,900 15,934. PDP polled 15,360.
And of course, moving on to Brass local government area, where APC polled 23,831, while PDP had 10,410. And then, of course, Yenagoa LGA, that's a big one, APC polling 24,607, with PDP polling 19,184. And then Ogbia local government area, APC there with 58,016, PDP with 13,763. Just to remind you that this process is still ongoing. Results are still coming in. So whatever we tell you now is what we have for the moment. And as more come in, we're going to update that list. Definitely 7 for
In
now,
the course
right?
of the program, we might go back to Bayelsa State to conclude the proceeding there for the collation of the results. But momentarily, we do have our correspondent to give us an update. But,
yeah, she's been on the ground a lot today.
Yeah.
And, and initially she was talking about, the ambience in the room. I asked her what was the security situation like, and she said it was tight.
It will be tight. Yeah. Look, I was in that collation center, not exactly the same one. It was done outside of the INEC office 4 years ago, and it was somewhat very difficult to police. So this time around, I think the lesson is we're not going to do it outside of INEC office so that they can manage your crowd, they can manage your traffic in and out. And so INEC, I thought, and I think that probably they've learned a lesson and they've taken it into the INEC office this time around.
But so you're talking about INEC learning lessons. Again, you see this whole, everybody comes to the table and says, smart card reader. In specific areas, they talked about the fact that they started with it, and then something happened, they went manual, it was cancelled. We saw this in April, and we were assuming that by November, we would not be seeing this anymore.
These things are pretty much clear. There is sometimes a war between technology and the law. I mean, the law sometimes want to permit technology, but technology is not going to give in.
Okay.
I think we have our correspondent there for us.
Dobra Timiwood in Bayelsa. Okay, Dobra, so give us an update. Tell us where you are right now and how far has the process gone. Dobra?
I'm at the INEC Collation Center in Yenagoa, and collation has begun. For now, they're on a break, 1 hour break, and it's already 30 minutes gone into the 1 hour break. So far, the results for 6 local governments have been announced. Only 2 local governments remaining. That's what we have so far from the INEC Collation Center in Yenagoa. But I'm not alone. I'm with the project manager of IAGO Africa, and she will tell us as an observer what they've observed during this electoral process. Hello there. Yeah. So, you've seen the announcement of 6 results. That's
6 government, yes.
What can you say regarding the process?
Well, I think first is to commend the people of Bayelsa for coming out to vote, because before the elections, you see all the indications and some of emerging trends on possible threats of violence. But the people still, regardless of the challenges and late commencement of polls, still came out and waited to cast their vote. Now, one of the things we had seen yesterday was we had a large percentage of polling units commencing late. So from the watching the vote PVT data, as at 12:30, only 56% of polling units had commenced. But thankfully, voting continued till as late as 4:30, 5 p.m. And what that did was it gave more voters the opportunity to vote. Now, the process has been, for the collation period post-elections, has been quiet as people have been waiting on the Electoral Commission to announce the results, which is what we expect. And in a democracy, after you vote, you wait for the votes to be counted and you wait for the results to be announced. And that is one point we need to commend the people of Bayelsa for being peaceful and waiting through the collation process. As we wait for the 2 results, for the result from the 2 remaining local government areas, it's still another call to the people to wait and let's be patient, even in celebration or in whatever it is, and wait for the final results from the remaining LGAs to be announced. We did observe challenges in the process that requires a lot of intervention when it comes to electoral reform, because regardless of having the elections yesterday, we still had perennial challenges of logistics when it came to deployment of materials, and this was a major indictment on the role of the security in supporting INEC to deploy materials to polling units, because that also impacted on the percentage of voters who could vote. The other issue also is we still saw some threats to disrupt the process in some polling units where some local governments, some ward coalition and ward centers result materials materials, election materials, were carted away with. Regardless, voters still wanted to vote. So for watching the vote findings, we have polling units where voting could not happen yesterday, not because the people did not come out to vote, but they came out to vote. But some individuals, some thugs had come and carted away with the election materials, depriving them of that right to vote. That is where we raise questions that at what point do we build a democracy where political parties would ensure the process is credible and that when people come out to vote, that their right to vote is guaranteed and safeguarded, because we still have voters who couldn't vote, not because they did not have the interest to vote, but because they got to their polling units and their materials were missing. So these were some of our observations on the process. But we also see the challenge of money. And while we are preaching that we need to start saying no to vote buying, one of the things we need to keep promoting is that citizens have a right to participate and that they need to engage the process and become active citizens in holding the government accountable and their political power. Whichever party wins, we hope that even if there are grievances, that the right channels are adopted to challenge any grievances in the process.
Thank you very much for sharing your thoughts with us. We're still at the INEC Collation Center in Yenagoa, and collation of the results of Southern Ijaw and Ekeremo local government will soon begin, and we'll keep you updated on the process.
That's Dobra Timiwood, our correspondent there live for us. But Dobra, if you're still with us, maybe a question for you before you go. A day after the election, if you compare what happened 4 years ago to what happened on Saturday and today, how are residents of Yenagoa, Bayelsa State in general, waking up to the reality of the aftermath of the Saturday conduct of the exercise?
Okay, so now 4 years ago, that was 2015, and now 2019. It's a far departure of what we had in 2015. Remember, Shehu, you were in Yenagoa 2015, and I still remember how much I ran at a Masoma community. I even had to come, and I was practically panting when I came to Yenagoa. Now, I went to a Masoma yesterday, and most of the polling units visited were peaceful, which was a different scenario from what we observed 4 years ago. Now, regarding Bayelsa and the anticipation regarding the vote, we've seen that people are anxious, but they are not violent. They are cordial. They are calling on INEC to continue the process, ensure that the results are announced. You know, the tension in the air of the possible breakdown of law and order is no longer there. People are coming to terms with the fact that the election has taken place, results will come out, and they should accept the votes. And once again, understand that they are all Bayelsans, no matter who wins the election.
Do you think that we're going to be here for another couple of hours? I'm referring to you now. When do you think this will wrap up, looking at what you have left now, the local governments left?
We're expecting that it should wrap up within the next 3 hours. That's our expectation. But we really can't tell. You know, INEC told us they're going to start the process by 10 a.m., but they started after 3 p.m. in the afternoon. Now, they had 6 results, and they didn't go on any break. They took the 6 results at a stretch before they went on an hour's break. Now, it's almost, you know, the 1 hour is almost out, and there are no signs around here that they are coming back soon. So, for us in Yenagoa, the wait continues, but we're optimistic that the results for the 2 remaining local governments, which is Ekeremo and Southern Ijaw, will be announced. Remember, I told you earlier on in the day that INEC told their adult staff that if you know where you are is too far and you cannot go to the local government headquarters for the collation, you can come over to INEC headquarters. So they've been doing that all day. We're very optimistic that before the next 3 hours, Bayelsans should have a winner of the election that took place yesterday, 16th of November.
Timmy Wood there for us, our correspondent live at the Collation Center in Yenagoa. Thank you so much, Dobra, for your reporting there. Do stay safe, and we'll come back to you at some point on the show. But let's run straight to Kogi State.
I think we should run our viewers through Kogi, because you
absolutely,
know,
with the results.
So kick off with that first
absolutely.
of all. Yeah.
And let's give you a roundup of some of the results that have come in so far from Ugori Magongo, where APC had 3,679 votes, PDP 2,145 votes, and SDP polled 244. Ijumu, APC polled 11,425, PDP polled 7,587, SDP 223, And if you look at all of these results, you discover that it's been a keen contest between some of the two major political parties, with the third party also trailing. That's not the only result that we have in terms of the election there. We have some senatorial elections.
Remember the Kogi West senatorial election also took place. Then we have a few results that have come into us. Kababunu local government area, with APC having 15,037 and the PDP 8,974 votes. Of course, when that was announced, you can expect what the reaction was. Ijimu local government area, APC 11,627, with the PDP having 7,647. Mapo and Muro local government area, APC with 4,874, the PDP with 3,704. Let's not forget Kogi Cotton Karfe local government area, APC there polling 14,168, with the PDP polling 9,786. And then Yagba East local government area, APC 7,941, and the PDP, that's it on your screen, polling 7,941. So the total LGAs we have for now, announced 60,330. That's for the APC. For the PDP total so far announced, we have 46,836. We're going to catch our breath.
There you have it. The figures. This is the moment where my mathematics sometimes will fail me. Just a matter of using experience.
So we're going to take a break for you to get your maths together, for us to breathe, and then widen the conversation. We'll be back right here in our election studios. Stay with us.